Now that we have the fire shield earrings, we can travel to hot areas, and in particular there was one area in the Eldin Volcano region that we previously weren't able to go to because of the hotness of it, basically. This is over at the top of this massive air geyser, which basically sends you to the top of the volcano. Just head off to the pathway that's, well, straight ahead from here, and usually we took a right to go down that giant slide area. However, if you go straight ahead, that takes you to the Volcano Summit, which is the area that you need the fire shield earrings. In general, the earrings there, I guess they're comparable to the fire tunic from Ocarina of Time. The logic behind how earrings allow you to basically stand heat doesn't really make sense, but this is Nintendo and this is Zelda, so of course it makes sense. Anyway, run on ahead and enter the Volcano Summit. There is a new enemy in the Volcano Summit that we will find right here at the beginning, actually. Well, not just yet, but run straight ahead and there's some red choo-choos. You can defeat them just as usual. But if you take this pathway to the right, you'll find some spoon enemies. These ones are a little different in that they are cursed spoon. Instead of tossing out electricity or fire at you, they'll toss out a curse. And if they hit you, you won't be able to use your items or sword for the time being. There is a goddess cube in the distance here. However, you can't actually reach it. At least not yet. Later on, when we return to the Volcano Summit, you'll be able to reach it. However, if you are playing the Hero's Quest, the second quest, you will have the upgraded sword earlier on, and you can actually get it then. But that's besides the point. We'll be picking that up in a later chapter. There are a ton of these red choo-choo here. Luckily they're not too much trouble for you. I sort of was a little over-anxious and started doing spin attacks and jump attacks and ran out of stamina. But just take your time, defeat them, and they shouldn't be too much of a problem. Off to the side here, there's a couple cursed spoon. You notice I'm using the sacred bow to defeat them. I find it a little more efficient than using the bombs, which I was previously using. But whatever works for you. I'll run straight ahead, and you actually can exit the volcano, at least for a period of time here. There's some bugs on the wall, so you can pick them up if you'd like. But afterwards, you want to fill up at least 2 bottles with water. You could fill up 1 and then just return here later on. That's really up to you. But 2 bottles of water is what you are going to need to progress in the Volcano Summit. Like I said, you could just do 1 and then return here and then do the next, but it sort of just takes time. In the distance, you want to just jump off and sort of glide forward, and off in the distance there's a platform that has a goddess cube. This is one of the goddess cubes that it's really hard to find, and this is particularly one of them that Gorko the Goron, if you use your dowsing mechanic, could be quite helpful in finding. But anyway, afterwards you need to get back over to the water, where we just were, and you need to use your claw shots in order to reach that area. There's a series of vines like on these pillars, and you basically just need to claw on over from vines to vines, using your claw shot, and to sort of climb your way back upwards. The last one over here is a little further along, so you'll have to use, you'll have to move on over on the vines before you can claw on over. Notice I used my stamina potion. I didn't really mean to use it. You don't actually have to use it. I'd just rather fill up both of my bottles now, as opposed to filling up one and then returning. There are some blessed butterflies here, so as usual, pull out your harp and you can just strum away, and this causes a gossip stone to appear that sends out a treasure. He gives you advice on those walls, those special walls, and you can draw certain things on them. Anyway, now that we have the 2 bottles of water, return to the volcano, or the Volcano Summit, make a left, and continue along on this pathway. Is over here you're gonna find, well, Gorko the Goron once again. And again, he starts talking about goddess cubes. I guess that's all he's here for, looking for goddess cubes. Although he doesn't get the treasures from them. I guess he's just doing research. Anyway, there's this like frog-like statue with a tongue. I recall seeing something very similar to this in Spirit Tracks, actually, when you had to use your whip to like latch onto it. I think that's what I was instinctively doing once I saw this frog statue the first time playing. But you need to just pour water onto its tongue. This causes the fire to go away, and you can pass through. In this next area, though, unfortunately, there's like the staircase is kind of broken, so you can't actually continue along. Just getting sidetracked a little bit here. There's some butterflies to the side, and you can strum your harp once again to cause the gossip stone to give away a treasure chest. You could talk to it, and it actually gives you a hint about a heart piece that we are going to get. It's hidden somewhere nearby, but we are going to need to burrow like a mogma. If you dig up the soft soil spot, there's like a little hole in the ground. And, well, we are going to be returning here once we get an item in the future. So, we'll leave it at that. Turn off to the left and you'll see there's some vines that you can claw on over. Jump on over and you'll be right above that frog statue. And from here, you can pour the water, and this will cause the frog to close its mouth, and the firewall will disappear, allowing you to progress further. So go ahead and jump on down and continue along, and over here you find another frog statue, except this one is a tad bit different. It's, well, much larger, and the wall of fire is also larger. An ordinary bottle of water is not going to do the trick this time around. We're going to need something, well, bigger. Gorko the Goron gives you a hint that you need a big container and something where you can get all the water. Where are you going to get all the water? It's sort of a hint, and furthermore, Phi sort of gives you a hint that there is no water in the immediate area, but we need to get water. Where is water? Let's see, it's not on the volcano. That wouldn't make sense. It's not in the desert. Oh, okay, so we gotta travel back to the Farron Woods, in particular, Lake Floria. So that's gonna be our next destination, at least major destination. However, before leaving the Volcano Summit here, you can sort of climb out the window to the left, and there's a series of pillars here that you can use your claw shot to grapple on over to. By the way, that noise is just me running out of stamina potion, in case you were wondering. There is a Lilalfos up here, so go ahead and slash away to defeat it. And afterward, just continue along, grappling over from vine to vine, or pillar to pillar. And over here you find, look, another goddess cube. So go ahead and use your sword to activate this goddess cube. That's pretty much all we can and really want to do right now in the Volcano Summit region of the Eldin Volcano. in order to progress, we are going to need to find some water to enter the next temple. So go ahead and run on over to the bird statue. You can save your progress, and afterwards return to the sky so we can fly on over to the Faron Woods. We did activate 2 goddess cubes earlier on in this video, and you can actually pick those treasure chests up if you'd like, but afterwards just fly on over and enter the Faron Woods region. I'm actually going to make a stop at the Forest Temple, or just outside the Skyview Temple, just because there's a goddess treasure chest that we can now get here that I sort of passed up on earlier. You needed the claw shots to get this, so you theoretically could have gotten this much earlier. However, it was just sort of out of the way, and we never returned to the Faron region until now. So just to the right of the entrance to the Skyview Temple, there are some vines up here. You can claw on over, and then you can claw on over to another set of vines, taking you to this higher ledge. And it's over here where the Goddess Cube is located. So go ahead and deliver a Skyward Strike to activate it. That's pretty much all there is you need to do here. And our next destination is over at Lake Floria. So I'm sort of just going to skip ahead by returning to the bird statue here, and then just sort of getting back on my loft wing, turning around, and diving back into the Faron region and appearing at Lake Floria. Rather than showing that, I sort of just skipped ahead right here. Once you are at the Lake Floria region, instead of heading over and speaking with Faron Elise just yet, number one, you can use your bug net and pick up the Faron grasshopper that is located right here. This is the most common Faron grasshopper I seem to find, because it's right next to a warp point. But afterwards, right above where the Faron grasshopper was located, you will find there is some vines here, and you can use your claw shot in order to grapple up to this higher platform. And what are you going to find? None other than a goddess cube. Well, you'll find a amber relic as well, but who cares about that? But behind it, you will find a goddess cube. This marks the 9th and final goddess cube found in the Faron region. So that's pretty much it. There's only actually 2 more goddess cubes left to uncover in the entire game. One of them is that one in the Volcano Summit that we noticed, and the final one will be in the Lanayru region that we'll pick up a little bit later. You could use your beetle, and you can actually pick up the gold rupee that is just lying around. That's pretty sweet. I mean, a gold rupee, those are very valuable, so hey, 300 rupees. We'll take it. Afterwards, just jump on down and head inside Faron's little area here, or her basin, or whatever, or not her basin, but whatever this area is called. Anyway, over here is the water basin that Faron was previously recovering in, and how the heck Faron fit inside that thing is beyond me, but well, speak to her, and oh, you wish to borrow my water basin? Why, of course, that should give us enough water to basically put out the fire, or to feed the thirst of that frog statue, which doesn't really make sense if you think about it. Anyway, Fi will call over our Scrapper, and he'll go ahead and pick up the water basin. This water basin is a little heavier than most of the items that he has carried. And this is going to make for a problem for us in, well, just a little bit. But either way, Scrapper will go ahead and lift up the water basin, and he'll then fly away up to the sky. That's pretty much all that you really even need to do here in the Faron region. I mean, there's nothing else to do. We came here pretty much just for the water basin. So afterwards, we should just return to the sky and almost immediately head back to the Eldin region. As mentioned, we got 2 goddess cubes in the Volcano Summit region, and we also just activated 2 more here in the Farron Woods region. So if you'd really like to, you could, while you are in the sky, you could actually go and do some goddess cube navigating if you'd like to. But I'm going to save that a little bit later, since there's nothing really that rewarding that we are going to get from these particular goddess treasure chests. Once you return to the sky, our next destination is over at the Farron Woods, the Eldin Volcano, and Scrapper will be right behind you carrying the water basin. So I'm just going to skip ahead and, well, join me for the next video, and we are going to head back into the Eldin Volcano region. See you then.